Welcome. I have divided the leg into two videos. This video is going to cover muscles above the knee, and then the next video is going to cover muscles below the knee. So we're going to start with muscles of the thigh, or above the knee. And the thigh we can divide into compartments as well. So we can divide the upper leg into an anterior compartment, a medial compartment, and a posterior compartment. So a quick summary. In the anterior compartment, we have muscles that will extend at the knee. So to extend the knee would be basically to straighten the leg out. These muscles also act to flex the thigh because they also cross the hip joint. So many of these muscles cross both the knee and hip. They include your quadriceps femoris group, which is a group of 4 muscles in the anterior thigh. These all share the quadriceps femoris tendon. In the medial compartment, we have the adductors, and this should make sense because to adduct the leg, we need to be in the medial compartment. We're going to look at 3 adductors: the magnus, the longus, and the brevis. We'll also locate the gracilis, which is in the medial compartment. Gracilis means slender, so this is a relatively slender looking muscle right along the medial aspect of the thigh. And then we'll look at the posterior compartment, which includes muscles that flex the knee but also extend the thigh, or extend at the hip. And these include the gluteals, maximus, medius, and minimus, as well as the piriformis and the hamstrings, which include 3 muscles in the posterior compartment. Okay, so let's look at the quadriceps femoris muscles. So these muscles are antagonists of the hamstrings. So where the quadriceps femoris muscles are in the anterior compartment, the hamstrings are going to be in the posterior compartment. The quadriceps include the rectus femoris. Rectus because its fibers are running parallel to the midline of the thigh. So it's right up and down the midline of the thigh. You see that muscle. The vastus lateralis is lateral to the rectus femoris. The vastus medialis is medial to the rectus femoris. And then deep to the rectus femoris is the vastus intermedius. So these 4 include the quadriceps femoris group. There's also another muscle that crosses the thigh, so its origin is up here off the ilium, crosses over the thigh medially, actually crosses the knee, and inserts at the tibia. This muscle is known as the sartorius. It comes from the word sartor, which is a tailor, someone who measures sizes and for a person's clothing, and they often sit in the tailor's position, which is crossing the legs. This happens to be the longest muscle in the body. Very long, very slender, very distinct superficial muscle of the thigh. If we go to the medial compartment, we're looking fairly deep. Anterior deep, but also medial. So here would be medial, that's lateral. We find the adductors. We have the brevis, the longus, and the magnus. So you'll notice all of these, since they are sitting in the medial compartment, will adduct. They will move this leg towards the midline. There's another muscle in this medial compartment which is known as the gracilis. Gracilis means slender. So notice it runs right along the medial portion of the thigh. So these are deep and medial. Notice we've removed the quadriceps muscles to locate these. Now we will look at the posterior compartment of the thigh, which includes hamstrings. We have the biceps femoris, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus. So those are the three hamstrings. They are extensors of the thigh, as well as flexors of the knee. They are all relatively superficial, although you can see the semimembranosus tends to be deep to the semitendinosus. The gluteals include the maximus, the large muscle. If we remove the gluteus maximus, we can find the medius. So we see a little bit of the medius superior to the gluteus maximus, but if we took the gluteus maximus off, we would see more of the medius. And then deep to the medius is the minimus. So we have the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. In this region, there are many other muscles, including the piriformis, because it is pear-shaped. And there are a number of other muscles in this region we are not going to cover. In the next video, we will cover the muscles below the knee.